I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Mr. Sergeant at Arms, it's all yours.
Sergeant at Arms, when you stick up, just like pull some of your arms.
Oh, there is a deal, yeah. Well, that was quick.
Well, there's more scan. So yeah, and I give you this here. We're about next week. Everybody's each one shot. What our apologies are and some of that spirit. So very, very excited about that opportunity. To clarify point of business, as we were yakking, it sounds like there was a conception that we were going to meet here first. I don't believe that's true. I'll have coffee and something to snack on. So directly to the shop, 7 o'clock next Wednesday. It is, I was telling Mary, with the move, there's several bombs that have gone off in the shop in the last couple of days. Even though I will have that off into the wings so that we can all experience what the Peace Poles operation truly is. It is dusty. So be aware as you, and I apologize for that. I know everybody's going off to work. I go to work like this. But walking around and I think it will be fun. Looking forward to it. Mr. Courtney. Yes, sir. Dr. Courtney. Yeah, well, I understood it. I had a momentous week. We only went up to pay it. But anyway, we went up to watch it. Went over to, was in the auditorium side. This is something that's new. So we were part of the session. We had 600 graduates, 246. The rest of them graduates from community college program or 2+2 program. Bachelor degree, associate degree. So it was sort of, as we were walking into the session, I get nervous. So anyway, we paid up. There were easy to get. Both field houses with the sea and the sea. So anyway, about 20 minutes into the interview, and then prior to the speech, well, they also, but my speech, son was there. 3 months. President said, your son would be. 28 years. I had impact in about 4 major areas.
most important were wanting to increase our IT ability to have online. Now, I know 6 years ago, I was curious to be what we spent $2 million. Well, we had the reserve. So what it turned out is we've been to have education system, at least and that's like faculty, they have new training style, you should call it. That is kind of we didn't have any fun. Remember all of it is we only had 700 students. We have over 1,100 and they made a comment. We figured like 300 missions. My wife has been one of them got there for the mission, and the other one got there for and we are healthy. That's interesting. It's a challenging time trying to attract students to small community. Plus, the demographics is there, online education, you see advertising. So anyway, yeah, thank you again. Okay. Dr. Lynn. Congratulations. Absolutely.
President Nolan,
Yes, sir.
I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, very good. Well, we have a guest this morning to talk about one of the initiatives of Rotary International and of District 6060, and hopefully of our Rotary Club, because we definitely need to become a more diverse club, represent our community. So, Miss Jennifer Williams, would you please come? I believe you're there, yes?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
All right, very good. Well, welcome to the Spirit of St. Louis County Rotary Club, and we're glad to have you.
Thank you. I'm so good to be here. If you guys hear me, do you want me to stand on? I don't like standing time.
You should be
If I need to, I will. Is it okay? So I have these pieces on your table. You guys can pick it up right quick. So my name is Jennifer Williams. I am the founder of JW Apartment Group, and I have a whole lot of experience. You probably say, why are you talking about this? Status, diversity, inclusion, and belonging. I'm grateful and thankful to have the opportunity to serve District 660 with this. I worked for some of the largest industries in St. Louis. I worked at one of the largest industries in Monsanto, and I was on the AAA, the African Americans in Monsanto. I was on that diversity initiative that we had with all of the other culture sellers at Monsanto to make sure that we can retain and we can look differently as a company at MasterCard at Monsanto. I'm also partnering with the minority business agencies right here in St. Louis, in the Empowerment Zone in St. Louis County and St. Louis City, and we're driving this initiative right quick. So what does that mean to us in District 60? Just understanding it, we have already been doing some of these components as a district. Now we're doing love this piece right here with our campus this year. We are shifting, right? We're making a shift. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is look around the room. Take a minute, look around the room. Okay. Look around the room. We want to make sure that we're doing a shift. And the key with our initiative is we want to make sure that diversity, what does that mean? You can try to pull out this part. This is a lot of participation. Can you read that first one for me really loud so everybody can hear that the diversity stands for what does it stand for? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. That's regards to university members. Now, we're trying to get university members, but we have a huge initiative. And one of the things is we can't do this alone, right? I like to use this quote, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go forward, go together. So we have to do this initiative together for our district to make a difference. I probably didn't say this, so I tell you guys this now. So I'm part of the Boston Rotary Club. Probably a year and 2 months in. I've had the opportunity to serve as the auction chair, which was a whole lot of work. I probably should have sent them an invoice. That's what and I'm grateful and thankful for that, for them to see the skills and the talent. And now I had an opportunity to meet our district governor, Julie. I had some time to spend with Valerie and to run this initiative and to trust us with that. We have a whole sub team that's working on this deal. Everyone is not here with me today, but we do have, and I'm gonna have her stand in, we do have one of our sub team members. So we have teams, thank you guys, we have teams from different clubs that is helping with this initiative. So this is not a JWI partnership thing, but we are using some of the tools that we have with JWI to drive it. So we talked a little bit about that diversity piece. Let's talk about the second one. What's the second one? Can I get someone? Yeah. Gotta read that out for us.
Being able to attend the dance without any barriers or accessing.
Yeah, you want everybody to be able to do that. When they come into your club at 7 o'clock, we want them to be able to attend whatever that initiative you're talking about they're doing. We want them to feel comfortable when they do that. What's that last one? Inclusion. Can I get someone to read that for me right quick? Yes.
Having the music, the dance, not being judged for your move.
Not being judged for your move. Why do I love these initiatives that we have? Because I was also studying to be a Zoom instructor, right? And sometimes people were laughing at my moves, and it was funny because I was trying to get all of these schools down. That's not the part, because I got down. So the people come in and fun, but seriously, we want people to be part of our club. That can make a difference and do differently from us, regardless of what background you came from, regardless of your history. Do we want them to really be part of our club? Absolutely. You know, when I first, and I'm gonna tell the story because I'm very transparent. When I first became part of the Rotary Club, my family and my coach's friends, they said, "What are you doing?" They used to call me J-Lo, right? They said, "What are you doing, J-Lo?" So they call me J-Lo now because I'm there. But they used to call me J-Lo. "What are you doing, J-Lo? Do you not know that that is the KKK?" I said, "Great, because I'm good, right?" I remember when I first went to the Boston Rotary Club, I was told you can't sit here, you can't sit there, you can't sit there. I said, "Why not?" "Well, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Well, that's where I'm sitting. So who's gonna move?" Right? That's where you role is. Because why? Because there was some things going on in that club, and we had to break those barriers. And I'm not afraid to go out there to do it. But we're gonna be respectful. And I was not being disrespectful. So what is diversity, inclusion, and belong, and equity equals belong? We want everyone to feel like they belong to whatever we do or wherever we're going. So we have this initiative. The Boston Rotary Club has already signed in to be part of this initiative. What does that look like? That means that quarterly we meet. This course online, when it's applicable in that course today. And then what we do with this initiative, we just have fun. I think it's gonna work, right?
If not, I can move it.
You're gonna move it forward, okay. Here's the fun and we're gonna get. Can we get that fun? So my daughter did this video, so she wanted to really see her mom there, right? Okay, but you see how the fun we're having? So we have breakout sessions, and once they have. We have breakout sessions on the court, and we talk about things like how we get Generation Z to be part of our club. What do we need to do differently to get them here? What about that Generation X? You see how we're taking those notes down? How do we get them here? How do we make them feel belonging to be part of our club? So we took a thought, right? What about those DNA? Why? Because we need those initiatives. And then how do we pull from what seasonal Rotarians has been part of the Rotarians since they existed, or we don't know how long, 10, 15, 20 years. How do we pull from them? Because they got the knowledge that we need so we can pull that out. Because anybody recall Blockbuster, show of hands. Do you see Blockbusters around? Why? Because they didn't do a shift. They had people in place from bottom up saying we need to do something different. Those Gen X's and Y's, they didn't listen. If we don't make the shift, and why do I have such a passion for this? Why? Because when I became a Rotarian and I became part of the Boston Rotary Club, I had no idea what the Rotarians were doing in our community, inside and outside of the United States. And I want to make sure that I spread the word of everything that we're doing. And I want to see people that look differently than all of us in this room, from all walks of life. I'm still connected to my connections and my people in my channel that live in different parts of the world, not just African American people, but all people from all cultures. In India, right? And they have shaped who I am today. When I was at Legacy myself, I like to use my story to change someone else's story. When I was there, and I was so I have traveled the world. I tell people all the time, I didn't have to go into service. All I had to do was join Montana. I have been all over the world. And one of the sections I was in, and I used to serve, I was called a queen. Who does that? And a meeting that you're training. And it was okay because I have my laptop on right now, is the right. And I have all the witnesses in the room. Why? But the people that was in the room that was from different backgrounds than I was, they came to me and they knew that I was, in HR and it's Jennifer, we're gonna help shape this. I said, absolutely. I said, we're gonna take 5 minutes and we'll be back. They said, you coming back? I said, absolutely. I said, because I'm here serving as the face of my family. And just because people don't like that, it's okay. It's not going to change what I'm doing. So that's why I have such a passion for what I'm doing when we're doing these different initiatives. We want everybody at the table to feel like they belong. There we go, right? It needs to be a Rotarian. It was a long time for the see women there, right? Was that not? So see, I do I do my homework, I do all my research. But here's the piece that we're working on. And you guys, we have been phenomenal and we're doing what we're doing because I also gone out to our e-learning courses. We have courses out there on diversity and inclusion. So all we're doing now is just building on it and taking it to the next level with more awareness. That makes sense? So for example, we're going to talk about rethinking socialization. That's one piece that's in that course. And what does that look like and what does that mean? Right? You probably can't see. Can you guys read that one? Can you see it? Who wants to read that word? No one. Anyone?
I got it right here. Even I can see this. No, no, you weren't joking. I was friendly. I mean, beyond that. Yes. Is this normal? Meet Samaria, an office worker who is fasting at work during Ramadan, the Islamic holy month. The HR department has confirmed that Samaria and other employees observing Ramadan must be accommodated. Lately, Samaria's interaction with Michaela have been tense and uncomfortable. Normally, they have an amicable relationship, but Michaela now seems easily irritated and is even ignoring her contributions. One day, she overhears Michaela talking to Jonathan, another manager. Samaria's fasting is really affecting her work and we're already short-staffed, she complains. I'm a religious person myself, but I don't think it's normal to fast during work hours. It puts an unnecessary burden on everyone else. Reflect on the exercise above. What do you think about Michaela's attitude? How are different people defining what's normal?
What do you think? What do you think? It's no right or wrong answer, right? The reason why we use this, not be quiet to see what you think, is because we have people that look different or do things differently. That's probably not how we were raised, how we think. And you want to. You're closing yourself off. Yes, sir. That's it. Yes, sir.
You substitute taught for about 15 years. And one thing with education, going back to when we were growing up, I went to Catholic schools. So we all wore this, all the guys wore the same clothes. You know, we all wore the same thing. All the ladies wore the same clothes. It was an homogeneous unit. I used to say that my neighborhood was my church, was my school. Today's world is entirely different. And when you see the kids interacting with each other most of the time in such a respectful manner, and this is 10 to 12-year-old kids I work with, when you see them interacting like that, and you see them looking beyond the color or the background or the language barrier or the whatever it is, it really does give you hope that there might be something else out there for us old folks to figure out.
You said something. I typically part you said, now, look at it. I was going to train your brain. Better your guys were you. You put the difference. And I watch kids. And I go all over St. Louis. I see my kids. Watch the parents. And when I have experience right here, in some hands, I watch kids. And when I see that I put an American kid, I can, or grandma kid, they're going to call me now, he's right. I see the parents do what they're doing. What does that show us? Parents does not know what color you are. Kids are innocent to your point. All they know is this is my friend. So I'm talking through the eyes of my experience, right? So I had my son in private school, grandson, you know, going to the Smith, right? And this is what I had to tell them. Good. They were going to spend night in your friends out there in that's reading. Now, when they do something, you be careful because you're an African American man. The system is different. What? Yes. You're wise. Now, when we like to hear that or not, that's our reality.
Yep.
That's why I have such a passion for it. I say now, it doesn't make them better or different. It's just the way that our society is today. And what Bill said, it goes back to this piece right here. Can I get someone to read those pieces there? And then I'm gonna take my.
Socialization shapes how we see right and wrong, as well as how we interact with others. For Michaela, Samaria's work slowed down because fasting is abnormal or even wrong. But for Samara, fasting during Ramadan is part of her faith.
And that's what people believe. Why do we want to take that from people? So here's my ask. I'm ending with this right here. I'm asking your club, and I know the president and vice president are here. But I'm asking this body to consider, strongly consider being part of our pilot project. And what that looks like is that quarterly we will come in, we would desire to have a champion from your group to join our sub-team. Our sub-team is underneath the leadership team, the membership that Rocky drives. We would really strongly encourage this group to participate in that initiative. We'll come in, just like these topic points, we'll do that, we'll have breakout sessions, and then we'll break you out so you can have the conversation. What we found with the Florida Neighborhood Club, we had about 10 initiatives that came out that was a high opening. This is why we don't have those. We're gonna take a deeper dive with the Florida Club that third Tuesday of June. I would invite all of you guys to come. We're gonna talk about violence, implicit violence. Something uncomfortable for some, right? I've had conversations with people call. I have an HR person on my team because I want to make sure because we're not here to disrespect anyone. Everyone matters. Your opinion, whether you're Gen Z or whether you are more seasoned, right? A baby boomer. We need all of that to be successful. What we don't want to be, and I'm here to say that, we don't want to be blockbusters. We don't want to be blockbusters. And if we keep going down the route we're going, look around. We're going to be a blockbuster.
You had mentioned about, just with that last slide, about perception, and perception is reality. A few years back, we had hosted, and several of us went on this, a family from France who was in for one of their children was getting surgery. And we wanted to get him out of the house. We wanted to get him out of, I think they were staying at Ronald McDonald or somewhere. So we took him to Grants Farm. We spent a good chunk of time at Grants Farm. They didn't speak much English, and my high school French was a little bit rusty. So we are literally a bunch of adults on our phone using Google Translate. That's how we communicated. It worked wonders. However, to the outside person looking in, going back to perception as reality. What? They're all together. They won't get off their damn phones, really? So you're right, we wouldn't, but we didn't get off the phone because that was talking for us. So the perception may be 100% wrong. And this is something that we need to realize. Mhm. Yep.
So that's all I have. My ask to speak with, next steps will love you guys. And 660. Because it's an initiative. Yes, sir.
And there's a. I don't think they have a lot of respect for that element. Maybe sometimes does not respect that.
And I don't respect that either. I talk to my friends and my grandkids and I talk to others in my community. I say, so you didn't want to tell me this when somebody died, so the nigga didn't go south. Yeah, I'm transparent, right? I say, so we say, you know, black lives matter, but we killing each other, because see, I don't want to go up this, I came straight from the, I told I was literally out of territory, I would have been beat, I would have been raped. I said, no one can stop you but you. So I want to talk to Bloods, I want to talk to Crips, why? I want to change that mentality. So you're killing each other, but then when George Floyd, when they're killing you, then you probably killing each other. So see, I'm not prejudice when it comes to that. I'm going to tell it right here. And I can check it out. So why do we think we need good, but you don't want anyone else to do it? Mindset is perception. So we're working on that piece from that piece. And I go out and come to any of them, we're working on it from today, or this is what they're working around, this is what we're talking about. So we sit at the table and talk about it. I said, but then let's go back to history. Because here's what's in history and laws that has been put in place. If we really want to go and get the foundation, look what they just did in 2022, Dred Scott case. They just reversed that. Was that last year? That a black man doesn't have any rights that a white man has to respect. That's real. But how do we change that? It comes in time. We're still facing, whether we want to hear it or not, we're still facing some of the same things we were facing when King and the rest of them was coming here. How is that so? Because that's the mindset and the perception. But no one can stop you but you. This is an uncomfortable conversation, and I know it. It's things that people have had a conversation with me about that I have had to work on. You would have seen me 30 years ago, I would not be connected or coming to speak to any club because of my perception, because of what I was told. And people said those to me, look like you guys. Do better and different. Didn't make it right. What if I would have listened? Wouldn't be the founder of JW Partners Group, wouldn't be serving as executive director for these disadvantaged communities in St. Louis City, St. Louis County. Wouldn't have an opportunity to meet great people like you, Julie and Valerie, and all of you guys, to see that my perception of Caucasian people is not a reality. But I had to go through that process. So that's all I have for you guys today. Yes, ma'am.
You talk about 4 sessions where it's kind of an assessment, it sounds like, it was do an assessment of our fund.
So yeah, so we can, oh, I didn't bring it. So out on the website, the Rotary website, they have a diversity assessment that you can do to do an assessment of your club. Yes.
But is that what those 4 sessions do?
So the 4 sessions, no, the 4 sessions go into a deeper dive of where we are individually and our perception of this. And you talk as a club. We start with how do we get the Gen Z, X, and Y here. Then in the next session, we go into, first of all, we take the assessment, we take the course. The course does not identify who has or who has not taken the course. So with JW Partners Group, we send you out the link. We don't know who's taking it. You have to tell us word of mouth that you completed it. After you take that, we come back with the first section and we talk about some of the things that's in the course. The second session that we do for Q2, we're going to do in June, you guys, please come. We take a deeper dive. Now let's talk about this violence. Some people in the club said, Jennifer, we need to go deeper. I said, we are, but we can't start deeper. We got to take a soft, we got to take a soft approach. Because we had some people in our clubs that have left the club because of this issue. Seriously. I had another club that told someone in the club, this club called me crying. Okay, nobody knows that their club felt like that. We were not doing it, blah, blah, blah. Upset, have a conversation. It's okay. Jennifer, I'm so sorry. There's no need for you to be sorry. I said, this is going to impact all of us. I said, look around. You see a blockbuster? So we got to shift. Because we are doing great things as Rotarians in and outside of city. I had someone else that called me about sexual harassment that's going on in the club. So I got to take that back to leadership. That's a whole different piece, right? And the men don't believe that just get tougher skin. What? So you see, we got some things we need to deal with, whether you are in a professional environment, we're part of these clubs, and we want to make a difference. So here's how it will work. I will send out a link, or someone from my team will send out a link. You'll have a key contact person within your club that will be a champion. They will send a link out to your club. Whoever would like to participate can participate. Then we will come and pick a date with what the president, vice president, and your club has agreed. So you won't find it. You saw the breakout sessions that we did with the club, we'll have the exact same breakout session. And we'll have a lot of fun. I promise you we'll have fun. And we'll take a soft approach into it. Because the number one thing we want to get those G and S's and Z and Y's in our club. Now, the St. Louis Club, you guys probably know this, they have a civilian club. And then that club is so diverse, but they don't do the traditional, what we do traditional. And it's phenomenal, and it looks like a community. Literally. It looks, does it not?
Oh, yeah.
It looks from all different, that's where we want to go when we have these meetings at 7 o'clock in the morning. At noon time. Why can't we do that?
This is a new location for us in the scope of this club. So we have a good opportunity we want to make ourselves attractive to everybody. And when they say a stone's throw, if you walked outside, you threw a rock, you're gonna hit a business. They're all around. And the problem I'm seeing is, years ago, I thought, I was in the church business. I thought, I want to be everybody's concern thing. Well, that's a little too broad. We can't be everybody's Rotary Club because we need 3,000 people in there. But we want to make ourselves attractive to everybody, and we got enough people just like me. So, we want to. I said, there's one every crowd, but watching the fellow.
So then I answer your question. We build off of section 1 and 2.
Okay.
And then what we do is, we may have an agenda, so with the Parks and Rotary Club, we feel ready to blah, blah, blah. And they shifted it right in the middle of us doing our breakout section. So then I shifted. I said, okay, what are you guys going to talk about? And someone said, I want to talk about this body. I said, now that's for the next section, but we can't touch on. So it depends on what the club wants to bring out. We want to bring out the opportunities that this club is looking to do.
So 1 and 2 will shape 3.
It's going to shape 3 and 4. Absolutely. But just because we have an agenda does not mean that we have to follow that agenda. But I would think, and I stand for correction, I would think that all of us will want our clubs to reflect the community. I would think that that's what we, and Florissant is changing. Florissant is going through a huge shift. Our club does not reflect our community.
Well, when we were in over 75. The Whitmer, I think of that school district, do not have a majority population. Right. White, African American, Hispanic. So talking about changing the neighborhood, we experience that same thing.
Yeah.
Would that bring that group of people to membership?
Yeah, we have 1 Hispanic in our club. We have 3 Blacks in our club. And we get there. 1. And it's funny because she was in the training. She had a whole lot to say. She had a whole lot to say. We had a few exes that was there. And they had a whole lot to say. So then we shifted it on. We said, so who are you going out to get right here? Because it's not our responsibility.
Go over again the letters here. I don't think about generation this, that. It's got my mindset. What is generation?
I was going to say the same thing, you've mentioned a number of times, number of different ways, education and, you know, when you're confronted with something new, the story about Michaela and Samaria, the first thing that needed to happen there was where and why and fast and what is Ramadan, and ask some of those questions. But the biggest turnoff for me, and you're alluding to it, and maybe that's not where you're headed, is labels.
Yeah.
And we've been fortunate, my family has been fortunate, we were able to raise our kids in very, very diverse environments in color, nationality, to our kids, and as a result, our grandkids. All lives matter.
I actually,
All that kind of stuff, and like you said, I have no clue what X, Y, Z, and like I said, there's gonna be an A.
yeah. Talked about the year when they were born.
What?
So when you think about, a Gen X, where year are you born? 79. Right? So she's gonna think differently than a baby boomer that was born in the 50s or in the 60s, right? Someone that was, and we're not labeling anyone, and thank you for bringing that out. We're not labeling anyone. When we were so I apologize if that was a dictation anyone might say that was not the intention. What we were trying to stress was that when you was born in the 50s or 60s, you're gonna think differently than somebody that was born in 2000, which comes around to how do we get that group, that Gen Z, we were associated with that. So that's gonna help me communicate that more effectively. I appreciate that.
So-
What is it? I don't know. It's a real simple question. What is it generation? I'm a baby boomer right now.
Yeah,
How do you understand your grandkids? Your grandkids probably was going out, something related to you. You have your grandkids?
11-year-old grandson.
You have, what year was your 11-year-old grandchild?
think fast time.
2015?
11 years.
11,
So 20, so 12.
2012. 2012. Your grandchild would be considered that Gen Z. That's coming up in
That's what it is. He's letting you know.
The trends.
Well, baby boomers, started in 46 and 64. Gen X went from 65 to 79. Millennials, for my kids are born from 80 to 94.
Yeah.
Gen Z, 95 to 2012.
Yeah.
And Generation Alpha, 2013 to 2025.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, that was a great question. I should have, we're talking about.
So back to the experience angle and back to the kids I worked with. I had one of the kids, they were supposed to read a historical fiction book. And there's a variety of books out called I Survived. And it's I survived Pearl Harbor. I survived, Pompeii. I survived whatever. And it's historical in the fact that the thing occurred, but the person it's written about wasn't there. So this kid comes up to me, and this was like 2015, 2018. Will this count as historical fiction? And it was an I Survived book about 9/11. And I'm thinking, whoa, it's not even a story. That's real. That's us. I lived this. That's not history. This kid wasn't born yet. So from their standpoint, 2001, they weren't born. It's history. So it is a perceptional change of that we have to understand. Again, like you were saying, the people, and I say we, I'm talking about humans, period. I'm not talking about, us in particular, but that we need to understand that they didn't have the same, and even within our group, we're all roughly the same age. We're all roughly in the same generation, except most. Sorry, Josh. But thank you. By the same token, we each have different experiences within the times that we were born.
When he started Texas, science student, they scared. Probably they are not gonna let him in their store. So they didn't have cell phones in that back then. He had to go back to the plant. And then, of course, managers was absolutely just crazy, like, what? You know, they had to rectify it, but then they had to sit on the money. Then it's when he told me these stories, I think, what? Then the guy, he goes with another guy, see the different experiences. And they were still, somebody was still, well, they said it was him. Manager said, we know this guy. It's no way. So they set up a trap, and guess who it was? It was a probation guy still. But they wanted him, and his experience, he remembered where he could not go, it was a white bag, it was a
Yep.
black bag. I don't remember things like that.
I do. I very faintly, but you can bet, I mean, St. Louis is one of the last places to
Sure.
pull, yep.
And then. That is, what is it?
Oh, LBGT, yep.
Disengage. What do you think? I'm going to take this because I love it and it's place. Now, based on what we believe on the page, he's already agreement, but what was something I need to be that for him, for her. I spent so much time on here. This was a great conversation. I appreciate you guys. My ask is that we get a champion. I'm gonna ask, right? I'm not afraid to ask. Have not because you asked us. Is that we get a champion in your club that you guys strongly consider participating, not because it's an initiative from Jennifer Jones, which she's phenomenal. She is phenomenal, but because that's something we want to do as Rotarians and make a difference. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Because you can describe this better than I can. And everyone will have to explain when we know what to say next.
There you go.
So you can keep, you know. I mean, after this, well, I mean, he's gonna explain what this is.
Thank you.
First of all, as I said, starting out the meeting, I am hosting our club next week at my shop. And you guys are very welcome, invited to come and participate in that. So this is a version of Peaceful. And gosh, the history of Peacefuls goes back to 55. And trying to think the guy's name.
Was it Gandhi?
Masahisa Goen, Japanese man in 55, came up with the phrase "May peace prevail on earth." In relation to the devastation post-war or during the war. And so in 85, our company started, and we've in 38 years sent peace poles all over the world. And there's other organizations making peace poles, we're not unique. But this is the simplest form. There's 4 different languages out here. Every other pole that we make, you can select any language of your choosing. So it's unifying the world under the common message, may peace prevail on earth. one of the things, and I don't want to take a lot of thunder or a lot of time, but we donated a pole to the Epworth group. I don't know if you know Epworth and Webster, a lot of history there as well. But it was a fun pole to make, a fun pole to donate, dedicate to the kids, and we planted it at one of their residence facilities. And we invited some of the kids to the shop to see what a peace pole is and the operation, and we actually made some of the first cuts on their pole together, and the kids participated in that. But some of the questions that these kids asked were absolutely amazingly powerful, and kind of caused us to really reflect on why and what we're doing. And one of the kids said, well, make peace prevail on earth. Well, why that? Have you thought of changing? And I can't. It's Masahisa Goy, first of all, but the power of those words, there's nothing, and it goes to so much of what you shared with us this morning. There's nothing about that that's demanding or pushy, or so you start with may.
I like it.
And it's a yes.
They're bigger than that there. How big are these? What did you say?
Yeah. Come seriously, come next week, 7 o'clock, and I'm gonna ask you for your card back that I gave you. If my pocket is empty, or I'll meet you, or if you could email.
I can email you. Yep, it will be out. I will do that.
The most common version is a 4x4 cedar post,
Wow.
8 foot tall, 4 sides, obviously. It's tall enough that we can put 8 landings on it. So you've got 4 at the top and 4 at the midsection, and then the part that goes in the ground. We make a hexagon, so you can get 6 or 12, and for that we glue 4 4x4s together. And you guys will see that. The one we did for Epworth was an octagon. I've only been able to make a couple of those, 9 4x4s together. So you've got 8 or 16 landings on it. It gets really powerful. The really, really cool thing is there's an architect that we worked with through last year in Kansas that is doing a hospital, and we are spec'd into this hospital project. And Stasha and I worked together. They wanted to repurpose the spire from the original hospital and put it on top of their peace pole in the reflection center. And it's bigger even than our octagon.
Wow.
And they want as many languages as they can have. So I haven't made it yet, but I came up with a 12-side pole. There'll be 16 4x4s glued together, and it'll support this spire on the top, and so it'll have 24 languages. So there's all various sizes. We have a desktop. They're fun. They're fun.
When
And
people come to the solution is, I told you that our services are ready for nonprofit. We have kids in there who are from foster care. They have been sleeping on benches and eating out of the trash can. And we expose them to different things. So when I saw that you guys gave this and you giving an example, I would love to see if we can get the kids exposed to this here.
100%,
That would be, I
100%.
think that would be good to let them see something else different. We try to expose them to a lot of different things that they would necessarily have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, here's your card or information. Thank you. Thank you.
So next one, you can see the comments on this, yeah, it will be in the newsletter. Next week, we will not be here. We need to get on the top of it too. And then the following week, we're gonna be at food pantry. End of the month. So just try to keep that in mind. 2 weeks in a row, we will not be here. And do you need to make any announcements for this afternoon?
No, we're doing our scholarship interviews. We did 4 of them, 3 of them last week. Just because they did, them were very impressive. We only had 3. They were very
Yep.
impressive. One of them, man. He came in, suit and tie, walked around, shook everyone's hand. And just was the most delightful interview that we've had that I've ever had in a while, many years that I've been.
No.
So we did the students last week. Today, we're gonna be doing the, Carver North and Petro students. Hopefully, after today, we'll have, our scholarship recipients identified, but that was going well. Thanks to everyone who's been helping with that. I really appreciate it. But we'll meet here, sometime between 2:30 and 2:45 at the latest, so that we can talk about how we're gonna do the interviews. And, I think we've got plenty. So,
Hey, we invited 4 students and 1 female student. Because there were anxiety issues. They're not coming.
Yeah.
And you look at the 20 applicants, we had 6 of them and their essays about what's the most challenging thing in life. Which is mental health. We interviewed the district scholarship on Saturday morning, all done by Zoom. All 3 were phenomenal candidates. And we awarded the scholarship to a young lady. Water, Missouri. Obviously, but you can find it on the map. Well, yeah. It was very good.
Anything else?
We have a point. 68, we're at $74,812.
Or $74 and no, not even that yet. $7.80. Yeah, keep moving the decimal. And the way this works, by the way, ticket gets pulled, but it's, you remember when the Rams came in, you had these PSLs that you didn't get the seat, you had an opportunity to get the seat. Well, that's what this is. You then have to pick the joker out. And it rolls over.
Great.
381. They're all in your, but it's not in your hand, so. Well, Jennifer, thank you very much. I can, and everybody knows, but you may not know, Mary is my wife, in the blue there. And we have, our daughter got married back, July 1, last July. My mom refused to come to the wedding. It was a gay wedding. Refused to go. I mean, absolutely positively refused. And they haven't talked since. I don't know that they will. So I do very much understand what your point is. It hits some of us a little closer than others, perhaps. Thank you for what you're doing. And the whole idea of implicit bias, to me, I mean, it's implicit. We don't know we got it. And it's hard to have it pointed out that you mean after 64 years of life, you're now telling me that I've been thinking this. It's hard to admit. But we all have it. And sooner we kind of figure it out, perhaps the better we all are. So again, thank you very much for it. Well, I'm gonna leave any decisions, Jerry and Dave, are the two, Jerry, current Dave incoming. We have a board meeting coming up shortly, but I have a feeling that I already know what the answer is. I'm just not gonna say anything exactly. I can't speak for them. So I do appreciate everything. Thank you. And early by a minute.
Now you want to send me the